Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Together We Grow podcast. My name is Tamer, and I'm sitting here with Paul as well.
Hi, everybody.
So, this episode, we want to talk a little bit about what it's like to live together and work together. All the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Because, of course, it's not always perfect and rainbows and pretty, is it?
That it is not.
So we're going to dive straight in and just get chatting about what the last 6 years have been like.
Let's go.
Let's go. Okay then, honest answers only in this episode, Paul.
Okay.
No sugarcoating.
Right.
So what has it been like for the last 6 years for you working and living with me?
An absolute nightmare.
That's not what I was expecting.
No, of course not. No, it's, we work very well together, don't we? We
do, we
feed off each
complement each
other.
other.
We do. We complement each other. And yeah, there are a lot of highs and a lot of lows. There are some days where not only is our business partnership tested, but also our relationship tested as well because of it. And I think that's my biggest thing actually is trying to separate work and life has been really hard.
It definitely has been hard, especially now as well, because we work from home, don't we, as well, completely?
Yeah, we do, but it's different now because
It is different now.
It's different now because we haven't got loads of people that we are responsible for. We're not dealing with suppliers. We're just literally working together on the things that we like to do.
Yeah, so it's definitely sort of easier, isn't it,
Yes.
than what it was before. But still, there are some days where it can be a little bit tough, can't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think for me, my biggest issue is I don't want to say not perfectionist. I don't think is the word, is it? But I'm so kind of ambitious.
Very.
And I find it very difficult when people can't pick or do the basic stuff.
Yeah.
So pick up a task, get it done without sort of making mistakes. I know that sounds really harsh, but that's
because
just,
you put yourself at that level.
yeah, that's because that's just how I am. There's certain things, certain tasks that I can do. I'm very, very good at doing things really quickly.
Yeah.
So mundane tasks, let's call it, I don't know, editing lots of reels, for example, videos. That's something that we do recently. I can put those together so quickly.
Stupidly quick time, can't you?
So it really frustrates me when you can't do that.
Yeah.
And I know that's not fair, of course, but that's just how it is.
But that's something that you've been working on, though, isn't it? Yeah. And it's because you've got this habit of, because you're fast at it, you've always just done it yourself.
Yeah.
Whereas there's so many tasks like that, especially design related, because you were a graphic designer to start with, weren't you?
Yeah.
So there's loads of tasks like that you do really fast. So you've just always taken them on.
Yeah.
And there's lots and lots of little ones of them. So now it's time for you to start passing them on to other people, but because other people aren't as fast at doing it and it takes a while for them to learn it because they don't have any design background, i.e. me, it's quite easy for you to get frustrated when it doesn't get picked up as quick as you do it. So now you're trying to work on that and pass things over, but be more patient.
That's it, yeah. And I think it's easier now because we haven't got time restraints.
Yeah.
It's up to us when we get it done. If we don't, we don't. Ultimately we do have a plan for our new business and we want it to grow. Of course we do, and we want it to be successful. And I'm pretty sure it will be.
Yeah.
But there's no rush.
No, we don't have to be working between this hours and this hours, and if something doesn't go well, and we can just go off, have a break, come back and restart it. We can be working whatever days, whatever hours we want to, can't we? It just gives us that freedom to be able to focus on things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And if things do get a bit heated now, which they do, of course, I'm definitely not the easiest person to work with. I know that, and I know that from employees that we've had in the past as well, because I do. I've got to be careful how I word these things. But I kind of
we said opposite you.
I expect a lot, really, because I've hired so many people across my time.
Your years
so far.
in business.
That's it, and I genuinely care about these people,
Mm.
and I really want them to be successful in their role because then they're successful for the company. But also,
You want them to grow.
I do because I know what it's like when you're starting out in a career. Me was graphic design, and right at the very beginning, it is quite lonely because
Yeah.
you're the one
You're the
that
newbie.
you're the newbie, and everyone else are busy, and they just give you the rubbish work, and they expect you to get it done.
So you want to be, as a new employee in that sort of situation, you want to be nurtured and supported and
Yeah,
shown how to do things, don't you?
yeah, you do, and I guess because I do put a lot of time and effort, I think anyway, into nurturing people and trying to get them to grow and everything, that I kind of expect wrongly, I know this is wrong, but I kind of expect respect in the
In the workplace.
workplace, and I expect to get respect back from these
Yeah.
people, and um, you know, not always treat things as a 9 to 5 job, for example. So for an example, if there is a campaign that we're working on, and this has happened numerous times in the past, you do have people that as soon as it hits 4 o'clock, that was our time for leaving, they would just walk out the door.
Hmm.
And you're like, oh, you know how important this is. So what happens? So it's not going to get done now. So then I have to do it, and then that frustrates me, and and what I'm basically getting at here is I know that's wrong because once they've hit 4 o'clock, they have their life, so they
Hmm.
do want to go and do that, and I understand that, but I kind of
You're not good at
there's
separating
I'm
that.
not, and there's an expectation of me that I want them to get these things done.
Hmm. But
Uh,
then equally, we have had people in the past who have done that and who have gone above and beyond and really do care for the brands that we've built over the years and have stayed behind and gave up hours of their evenings and weekends and things to make sure that everything is done on time. And
yeah, we have had that. We have had that
yeah,
quite a lot. And Nathan actually at work, he's an absolute trooper, and
he's fantastic.
he does that all the time, and he does it even more now that he's pretty
Yeah,
much running the place himself. But yeah, and because of that, so it's quite a long ramble there. But because of that,
you're good at that, aren't you?
what that means is I kind of start to alienate people a little bit. They
Mm.
start to feel the pressure. They don't really want it. So, they'll leave and we'll have to find someone else, or I'll do the work myself. And that's obviously not very good.
Mm.
So, and then that obviously goes into our relationship as well, our working
Yeah,
relationship, because, 9 to 5 or 8 to 4 is what our hours were. They don't really mean anything to us because
no.
when you're building a business, you have to be at it all the
Yeah,
time.
there was no like off, oh, it's 4 o'clock, we're done.
So
It's
there's
not how it works,
we
is it?
put a lot of pressure on ourselves, and me more than most, I think.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, put a lot of pressure on myself, and I just want things to be good. I want things to be as good as they possibly can.
Exactly. Something that, talking about putting pressure on yourself, something that especially you tend to sort of, I suppose, almost suffer with is something quite common for entrepreneurs in general is imposter syndrome, isn't it?
Yeah,
The amount of times you sit there and go, oh, yeah, but why should somebody do this? Or why should somebody listen to this? Even starting a podcast. So, oh, who's going to listen to it? Who's going to care what we've got to say?
yeah. When we had the home fragrance business, I didn't feel that as much because
No.
basically you're making a lovely product for people to enjoy. Whereas now it's the two things we've got is our marketing business, but also Home Fragrance Academy, where we're teaching other business owners how to start and grow their home fragrance business. That one is one of those ones where you're like, oh my God, why would anyone actually listen to us?
I can't imagine how many times you say that in a month as well.
Yeah.
Like, is this really valuable? Are people going to really care? And even though we get wonderful feedback and, incredible responses from people, you still do nothing but question yourself,
Yeah.
don't you?
That's true. And that's something that I need to try and overcome. It is a confidence thing.
I think it is, yeah.
I'm quite confident in what I know and what I can
Hmm.
teach, and I might come across sometimes as quite confident on video and all that kind of thing. But of course, I'm a human being, so
Hmm.
there's always that
A
worry
little
in the
level of
background.
anxiety and everything, isn't
Yeah,
there?
I am quite anxious about a lot of things, aren't I? And it's just having that reassurance sometimes that when we
Hmm.
do, for example, a live coaching event in our Facebook group, I sort of when I do get those, oh, thanks so much, that's brilliant. Those type of comments, they actually Well,
They reaffirm that you do know what you're talking about
yeah.
and that people are interested and do want to learn from us.
And after those, I always say I'm always on a high, aren't I? Because
You're
I'm
on a
like, oh wow, that
proper
was
high,
brilliant.
yeah.
People loved that. That was good, really valuable. Okay, maybe I do know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And
People
that's
do it.
pretty much the same conversation we have after every single time, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's like, oh, that is valuable. People are enjoying it and people do want to take part.
that's it. Absolutely. And with the Home Fragrance Academy, whilst it's still very small, we do
Mm.
have around 200 paying members,
Yep,
and they stay around for quite a while.
they do, yeah.
So it's pretty good, isn't it? So I think we do know what we're talking about. But it's one of those things where I put so much pressure on myself, and
Mm.
then I boil over very easily.
Yeah.
I'm quite hot-headed sometimes, although I am definitely getting better, I think, at
You
the
are getting a
offset.
lot better. Yeah.
And that can put a lot of strain on
Mm.
things, can't it?
It can do sometimes, but like I said, you've been working on it and you've been doing a lot better. And sometimes, if you need to, you can just walk out of the room,
Yeah,
take a deep breath, and then come back again. And
yeah,
sometimes that's all you need, isn't it? To just walk out of the situation and then come back because you come back like, okay, this is what I need to actually focus on now.
yeah,
Sort of get it all out, really, don't you?
yeah.
Sometimes
That's it.
because we are humans, no matter what we're facing, we do sometimes just have to walk away and then come back again.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's tough, isn't it? Living together
Mm.
and working together. There's never a shut off. Not really. I mean, we go away on holidays, but we still do some work.
Yeah.
Um,
It's quite surprising actually when we get out of the office and go somewhere else. Like, obviously, all we do is tend to talk about work majority of the time, don't we? And we'll take Willow for a walk, and sometimes we'll just come up with so many different ideas and different plans when we're out of our work environment, don't we?
yeah, yeah, we do. One of the best things I think we did recently was building that pub shed in our back garden,
Yeah.
because we weren't on holiday or anything like that. We were still working
Hmm.
together, but we worked together on that for 2 weeks, didn't we?
Yeah. And that was really nice, wasn't it?
Yeah,
And we didn't realise that we could do as much as we did. We actually completely built a whole bar,
yeah.
and that was really heavy as well, wasn't it?
It was
Because we
bloody.
had to get it outside.
I've never ever attempted anything like that with woodwork and stuff. I say that when I was growing up, I had my granddad who the bar is actually themed around and named after. But I was.
He kind of taught you
He
how to
did.
use certain equipment and things in his shed, didn't he?
Yeah, I used to go around his, and he used to sort of help. I used to help him on the tools and all that kind of stuff. But I've never attempted anything like this,
No,
and you haven't either.
no.
So we thought, well, let's just give it a
Quite
go.
ambitious, wasn't it,
Yeah,
really?
very ambitious. Let's give it a go. And actually, it's turned out really nice.
It has.
We're really pleased with it, and it's one of our new favourite spots now. We've had friends come round, and it's such a beautiful thing. And that is such. I think even the process of building that, of us working together and realizing our strengths and weaknesses,
Mm.
but in a different setup to what we're
Yeah, a
used
completely
to,
different setup.
was
But you could see some of the skills transferable, like how you're really good with numbers and
yeah,
maths and things like that. And when it comes to like measuring things and seeing things like that with your design background as
yeah,
well,
yeah.
you can just envision it, and you never got a measurement wrong the whole time,
That's right.
and you're just straight on it with the numbers. And me, I can't do numbers
Well,
at all.
and that's evident as well, because when we're measuring something and Tamer says, "Yeah, that's 22 meters long," I'm like, "It's a shelf. The shelf is not 22 meters long." And I look at it and it's 18 centimeters. Yeah. So,
Literally every time I open the tape measure, I'm like, okay, which bit do I need to look at?
yeah,
Do I need to be at the top of or the bottom?
yeah, that's it. Um, yeah, but that was a good fun, wasn't it? That was
It
that
was
was
fun.
really good fun. And then, so that was a real high. And then we do have some lows as well. There's been
Mm.
some. I mean, there was a time a couple of years ago. Was it? No, it's where are we now? We're September, so it'd been September last year when I actually we went to bed and everything. We had a conversation about
Hmm.
something that happened at work, and I'd realised that, so I can't remember what it was now, but something wasn't done, and I ended up going to work and storming out the house
Yeah.
and actually sleeping on my office floor, didn't I?
Yep.
I mean, that was a very rough night, and I just didn't want to see you basically.
Yep.
Um, what was that? Can you remember?
I can't remember what it was, but I remember we were shouting at each other,
Yeah,
and we very rarely shout at each other at all, but we were shouting, we were both angry with each other, we were blaming each other for something, and I can't remember what it was, but you just needed to get out of the house. And
And I think that was the best thing actually was getting out of the house. I remember it was I think it was to do with our new packaging. Something to do with our new
it could have
packaging.
been, I don't know.
I can't remember what it was. Well, we moved over to the cardboard boxes, and yeah, we
Okay.
were. Realization hit me that you hadn't done a job that you were supposed to do, or that I thought you were going to do. I can't remember what that job was,
I think
but
it was something silly like crossed wires. I thought you were doing something, you thought I was doing something, but we'd never communicated with each other.
yeah, exactly. And we had a real falling out. I went to work to actually do that job, and then thought I'm not going home. I can't do that, and just stayed there, didn't I?
Yeah, you
Then
slept on the office floor.
you came in extra early the next day, and then I just left straight away to have
Have a shower and get ready for work.
have a shower and everything. Come back, and it was actually that day that that morning
Mm.
where we finished up work and we actually went away on holiday, didn't we, for the
Yeah.
weekend? So, but that's what we're good at, I think, as well, is we don't hold grudges for too long.
No.
We'll air stuff, and there's we do get things off our chest and have a go at each other, but then we can move on, can't we?
Yeah.
I think
I think
that's
that's important because we have been together for a long time
yeah,
and we've grown up a lot in these last 17 years we've been together now, haven't we? So
yeah.
we've done a lot together and we've grown a lot together. So it's important to keep that communication open, especially when you're working together and living together.
Yeah, it definitely is, isn't it?
And it can be tough. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It is very tough. Sometimes there are days like that when you do storm out of the house and you don't want to be around each other. But it's about making sure you talk to each other and repair that and make processes for the next time to make sure it doesn't that mistake doesn't happen again. But then you're apologising and moving forward.
yeah, that's it. And then when sometimes that mistake has happened time and time and time again, um, I think I remember what it was now. It was back when we were doing a lot of scent testing, and you weren't recording all of the data down on our spreadsheet.
Ah,
You
yeah.
just kept not doing it.
Mm.
And I'm very meticulous about keeping data and stuff up to
He's
date,
very particular with data and
because it's
spreadsheets.
important. It's more than
Mm.
just us. There's lots of other people there who are involved in this as well. And if you're not doing your job properly, and I don't mean this you, I mean it, as in general,
Mm.
if you are not doing your job properly, then why would your employees or people underneath you do their job
Mm.
properly? If they see the bosses aren't doing it, and that's the thing which sort of plays on my mind quite a lot is you want to be good leaders for people for these team members, so you have to lead by example, and if you can't do your job properly, why should they do their job
Mm.
properly? And then all I would end up doing is getting frustrated with people when they're not doing their job properly.
And
So
just a cycle, isn't it?
cycle continues. But yeah, we're very good at moving the just move your microphone down a little bit, that's it. We're very good at getting past things, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, which is important, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And yeah, so there is a lot of, we've had a few episodes like that.
Yeah, not that many really, considering
No,
we've been working and living together for 6 years.
yeah, well, we've been living together for a lot longer than
Well, we've been
six
living
years.
together for a lot longer, yeah.
But yeah, we've sort of had our business since 2018, haven't we?
Yeah.
Which is now 6.5 years, nearly six and
Mhm.
a half years that we've had our businesses together.
Mhm.
But it works quite well, and I think we do get compliments and stuff from friends as well.
Mm.
That how we managed to do that. And I think if anyone listening to this are in business themselves, because that's the thing, it's hard. We've got a lot of friends and family who don't own businesses. In fact, we're
Yeah,
the only
we are
our
near.
family and certainly our close friends. We're the only ones that own a business
Yep.
together. So it's really hard to have conversations, honest conversations, and deep conversations with friends and family about this because they
Mm.
don't understand it. They
No,
don't.
they can empathise with it, but they don't actually understand it because they haven't been on that journey before and they
Yeah,
haven't been in that position.
yeah, exactly. So it is, and I'm sure if you people listening to this are in a relationship and they work with that person as well in a business, I bet you can really understand some of those frustrations of working together
Yeah.
where you would just annoy each other sometimes it's just little annoyances. But then there's also deeper things than that as well, as we touched on a little while ago about certain things where you're causing real issues to the business, which can then be transferred over into the relationship. But then when you want to try and talk about that to someone who isn't in the same position, hasn't experienced that,
Hmm.
it's really difficult.
It definitely can be because, and it can be a lonely place actually being a business owner, can't it?
Yeah.
And especially having, even though we're together and we're working on the business together, we don't have anybody else that, like you said, none of our friends or family have ever been in business. So we haven't got anybody that can really understand or give us any advice on it.
No, that's it.
So, when and sometimes you can tell when you're talking to somebody about it that you can almost see them sort of zone out sometimes. That it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Or they'll shrug it off as well. So,
yeah, because they don't understand it.
exactly. Some family members, they'll be like, yeah, well, just switch off this weekend. You've got to go on holiday. Don't take your laptops. Don't do any work, and just chill out and relax.
That's something I found a lot when I did leave my full-time job, and I had loads of friends that were going, "Oh yeah, but that's all right. You can work whatever hours you want." And I thought, "Yeah, but I still have a mortgage to pay, and if I don't build
Yeah,
up the business
that's the
and I don't get the orders coming in, I'm not going to be able to pay my mortgage. So I can't have a day off just
that,
because I want to."
that's one of those funny things, isn't it? Is when you hear people say that, it's like, yeah, you're a business owner. You can have today off if you want. You can, yeah. What's that like? You must be able to knock off on a Friday afternoon and go to the pub. Quite, it must be lovely being a business owner, doing whatever you want.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, right. Yeah, you just
common misconceptions there.
here are my shoes. You come and step in them for a week and see just how many hours we do. You stick
Yeah.
to your 8 till 5 job or nine, whatever it is.
What was I saw a quote the other day that because I'm a business owner, I get to choose what 80 hours I work each week.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. And it never stops, does it?
No, it
So,
doesn't stop.
and that's when it can be quite challenging as a couple because we do go out quite a lot together,
We do, yeah,
you know,
especially now more than we ever did before.
but we have holidays together in our caravan. We go out for dinner, we go out for walks, all this kind of stuff. But we are always talking
On
about
it.
work.
And we're always on it as well. And like even like things from over the years when we start going to shops and things like that, you view things differently to
Yeah,
what you ever did before. Like when we were younger, we used to go shopping and didn't think anything about the shops, but now we're going and think, oh, if they did this about their display or if they put this here,
yeah,
and you see the whole world differently, don't you, as
you
a
do.
business owner?
You do. And one of my favourite things this is so sad, but this is kind of what it's like, isn't it? Is if we go into a shop and their stock room is open, I'll have a look in there just to poke my head in just to see how they've laid out their racking, or if we go past like a what was it? I went and picked up some supplies from one of our suppliers,
Yes, you
didn't
did.
I? I've done that a few times, and I'll always sort of stand by the roller shutter door and have a little look around just to see how they lay things out,
Yeah,
how they do stuff, and try and pick up some
some
ideas and
ideas,
tips.
yeah.
But that's just something I actually enjoy doing as well.
It is, yeah. And even when we've been to like garden centres over the years, when they're getting out their Christmas collections and things like that, and they're resetting up their decorations, you look at the boxes that they're getting them out of and think, oh, is that a supplier that we could
Yeah,
potentially hook
yeah,
up with? And
that's it. That's
you
very
know,
true. Actually, that is something
we
we've
did
done.
that at a Hearts Garden Centre, didn't we, when we were on holiday? And you're like, oh, quickly, I'll note that down.
Yeah, or if sometimes they bring out these pallets, don't they, in the middle of the shop, full of boxes, and these boxes are what they've got their stock in.
Yeah,
As they're emptying them, we're like taking a picture of the outer
yeah.
carton to
We've got
see
quite sneaky with our cameras,
to
haven't we,
see
over the
what their
years?
supplier was, what the SKU codes were, so we can go and find them and make
Yeah.
contact. And that's what, yeah, we've done that before, haven't we?
It's just about spotting these little opportunities, isn't it?
And that's where we have a laugh,
Yeah.
because a lot of couples that aren't in business together will, they'll just talk about any general random
Mm.
stuff, which we do, of course we do.
Yeah.
But when we do have a laugh and everything, it's typically something that we can both really relate to. And because our life has been business recently, that's what we sort of laugh
Yep.
about and things, isn't it?
It definitely is, yeah.
Well, the other thing that we like to do together is look at other businesses from the outside and say, oh, if I had that, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
Well, we've been there, done that. We know what stage they are in their business now, but I think they should do this
Yeah.
differently because of this reason.
Hmm.
Something that we've lived through. That
Almost like a little evaluation
yeah,
when we look at their social media and things like that, because we do a lot of that, obviously, don't we? To converse with other people and get our name out there a bit. And we're like, okay, I think we should, you could do this, you could do that, and give some like pointers and things.
exactly.
And
Yeah,
we even do that in shops, don't we? But oh, if they did this, or if they moved that over here, and that's quite fun, actually,
it is
isn't
quite
it?
fun. It is quite fun. Yeah,
The things we find interesting now that we never thought we would do.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. And I think one of the key things that I've learned from living and working together is, I say one of the key things, I'm going to talk about a few key things, I think, is you have to understand the strengths and weaknesses of your
Each
partner,
other.
of
Yeah.
each other. And you have to play to those strengths and weaknesses. So mine is very much business management,
Yeah.
strategy, that kind of stuff.
Hmm.
And so that's kind of where I lead. Whereas yours, at the moment, with what we're doing now, is very much the doing. So content creation,
Yeah.
and it's also engagement. And
I spend hours engaging every week with so many potential new clients.
yeah, see, that's something that I know is important. We teach this, and that's what we teach people
Yeah.
all the time, and that's what I talk about all the time.
But that's not where your strength lies.
No, my strength doesn't lie in actually doing it
No.
because I just get so bored. If I had to do it, then of course I would because
Oh,
I know how
yeah. You
important it
got to
is.
do what you've got to do.
But that's one of your strengths. You actually really enjoy that,
Yeah.
is reaching out to new accounts, chatting to people.
Hmm.
So you do that, don't you?
Maybe I'm friendlier.
Yeah, I think that's it. I can't. Yeah, yeah. I think that's
That's
exactly
something
what
we
it
joke about as well, isn't it?
is. Exactly. Yeah, we do. We do. Maybe you are more friendly than me, and well, you definitely are more friendly than me. But
Like you say, it's picking up on that's not your strength, but it's my strength. So I spend the time doing that. Although you do engage with people because you answer the emails and direct messages and things as well. So it's not always just me that's answering people. It's also you. But we, depending on what the messages are, we tend to divide them up based on where our knowledge is more
exactly.
fruitful.
So that's a key thing that I've taken away from this because when you do that, you're staying in your lane. You
Hmm.
know what you're good at. You're going all in on what you're good at,
Yeah.
and you're putting trust in the other person that they're doing
Hmm.
what they're good at, and then all that's going to do is just drive your business forward.
Hmm.
Um,
But it's not to say that you can't learn the other aspects of the business, like you said before earlier on today, is that I'm now starting to do the content creation for the reels.
yeah,
So we've got to the point where, okay, now I'm ready to start taking that over as well. So I'm learning that and I am getting faster. Not nowhere near your level of speed yet, but I will get there.
yeah,
So, being able to learn something new as well can be beneficial too.
yeah, yeah, definitely can, of course. But then there's also the element of you don't need to learn everything.
Not all at once for definite, yeah.
Sometimes you don't need to learn
No,
everything because you have a partner there who knows their stuff. So
yeah.
let them maximize and be the absolute best at that, whilst you
Yeah.
be the absolute best at what you're good at.
Yeah, it
That's
just
simple.
depends on the dynamic and how your business is running, depending on whether you do, decide whether to learn some more skills or not. It just depends on the individual circumstances, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, it is. But it's also that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So that's an absolute key lesson there. And another one is you do need to make time for yourself. And this is a cliche, and this is what anyone will tell you. But it's true. You
Hmm.
do. You do need to make time for yourselves. And like we said, making time for ourselves, we still talk about business and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's in a different setting. It's
Yeah.
going out for dinner. It's going out for a nice walk. Those kind of things. Don't try to. I think one thing we're good at is doing those things. One thing I don't think I'm so glad we don't do is turn off the lights for the office, go downstairs, sit in front of the TV, and just watch TV. We do
Mm.
watch TV. We love watching TV together, but it's nice to have that break in between.
Yeah.
So downtime to do something different together is what I
Yeah.
mean. So you're not just like, right, we've finished working together, now let's watch TV, consume TV. We'll sit in the bar together,
Yeah.
or we would take Willow for a stroll, or whatever it is, go out for dinner. Last night we went
Hmm.
to a show, didn't we, down
Yeah,
in
we
Felixstowe,
did.
which was lovely. Those kind of things. They haven't got to be expensive. They just
No.
have to be time with
We're
you
just
two.
taking a walk out. It doesn't cost anything at all.
Exactly.
And it gets you a bit of fresh air. It's healthy for you as well. So just getting into a new environment makes a difference.
Yeah, exactly.
And after all this time, we still like spending time together.
Yeah, we do.
So that sounded terrible. Yeah.
Yeah, we do. Of course we do. Yeah. Yeah, we really do. We make each other laugh, and we love each other deeply, don't we? So,
We do.
and yeah, it is wonderful. Right, I haven't told you I'm going to do this. I've literally just thought of
Oh,
it. But let's do a quick fire Q&A.
oh gosh.
Tamer, what is the most annoying trait about me?
When you get frustrated, you talk over the top of me when I'm trying to explain something to you,
Yeah,
and you go, "No, I don't want to listen."
yeah. Okay, fair enough. Um, what's another Q&A? What's another question I got for you? If other than that, in business, what is one thing that you wish I would learn?
Oh, one thing I wish you would learn. Oh,
Now,
oh, that's a
either,
difficult
either,
question.
either there's so many things that she wants me to learn and she can't find the one thing, or I'm perfect.
I wouldn't say you're perfect. There's always room for improvement, but you've been in business a lot longer than I have, and I learn a lot of things from you. So maybe to do with business, and it's more, I don't know if it would be, it's not strictly business, but maybe more, which you are doing already, more working on your patience.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's fair enough. That's what I would have said.
Ah,
Is my
look at
patience.
that.
If I was you, I would have said that about me. I think is patience, but that will come with
But
time.
that is also something that you are working on, and you have seen a massive improvement over the
Yeah,
years.
exactly.
So
Absolutely right. Yeah,
it's
yeah.
good. Do you want me to fire questions at you?
Do whatever you want to do. You're a co-host.
Okay. Oh, under pressure now. I haven't thought of any questions ahead. What is the one thing that I do every single week that annoys you?
Um, you blink very loudly. No, 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 no. I think it is not thinking strategically enough.
Hmm.
So you are very, very good at following lists, following tasks, ticking stuff off a list, but you're not so great at thinking about that list, creating that list,
Hmm.
and um, and what I mean by that is the planning is
Yeah.
right. This is a goal. This is our goal for this month. How am I going to achieve that goal? Let's work backwards from it. Now that's something that I do. Of course
Yeah,
it
you've
is.
always been the strategic one out of the two of
So
us.
this is sort of going on what I said a little while ago, which is about playing to each other's strengths and weaknesses. But I think there's more of that you could do as well, because I don't know all the answers and I'm not right all the time. I only all I talk about, everything I say and do is just based on my experience.
Hmm.
Whereas I need to be challenged on that sometimes because, I'm definitely not right.
And that's something I have definitely been trying to do more of, challenging you and sort of trying to put myself into that
Yeah,
sort of position more.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Right. I had two questions. So you've got one more
Okay,
question.
one more question. If you could change anything about our whole working life at the minute, what would it be?
Um, that's a difficult one for me to answer because I absolutely love our working life at the moment. I really do. If I could change something, it would be myself, and it would be stamina's the wrong word, but it's like not getting too distracted or having my day broken up and then not being able to recover from that.
Yeah, you can sort of get distracted, can't you? Quite either something doesn't go to plan as well. It can then be quite a challenge to get you back on task.
I There are some days, and we had this couple of days this week, didn't we, where
Yeah,
I just like get so in the zone and I get so much
yeah,
done. I want to be able to do that all day, every day. But if we do something during the day, like we nip to the cafe for lunch, in the afternoon, I'm always a bit lethargic.
it's almost like you slump.
Yeah, or if we go for a walk, even just go for a walk at lunchtime, or the other something really mundane. The other day, I had to take the car to the garage to have
Yeah.
some work done on it. When I get back, that's my day broken up now, and I'm just in a slump and can't
Mm.
concentrate.
You struggle to get back in the zone to come back in and be like, right now I've got to. crack on with this.
Yeah, but that's only fairly recently, and I think
Yeah.
that's mainly because we're a bit more comfortable now, and we haven't,
Mm.
and it's easy to do that. But so I want to get out of that. I really do want to. So that's the one thing I'd change.
So I need to sort of crack that whip a little bit
Yeah, I
more.
think that's it, and I think you can help with that. And
Yeah.
that is by doing that. Is by like, right, come on, get on with this. What have you got to do
Mm.
this afternoon? Look at our to-do list because we have to-do lists.
Yeah.
We have our whiteboard in the office which has got everything we need to do for the week.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you could. So yeah, that's what I would change about myself. And for you, I would want you to hold me a
Yeah.
lot more accountable.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so.
Kat, doing a podcast and we've given ourselves like growth challenges.
Yeah. So to sum all of this up, living and working together is absolutely fantastic, and I
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't change it for the world because you know you, we're married, which
Mm-hmm.
means that we love each other deeply and we
Mm-hmm.
want to spend a lot of time together. So now we're spending all of our time together
Pretty much.
whilst building something that is of value,
Mm-hmm.
that
That we
produces us an
enjoy.
income that we enjoy doing. I mean, why
Mm-hmm.
would you want to change any of that? I mean, that's perfect.
That
So
is.
absolutely, we love doing it. I certainly love
Mm-hmm.
doing it. But of course, it does have its challenges, and it's how you overcome those challenges, isn't it?
Yeah, and it's about keeping the lines of communication open, walking out of the room when you need to, taking a deep breath, coming back with a solution.
Yeah.
And as a business owner, you're going to have to think about solutions and plan ahead and things. So it's exactly the same in your relationship, isn't it? Whatever the stumbling block is, work out how you can get through it together, come back and, okay, right, this is what I think we should do.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
sort of
That
go
is
ahead.
that's a very, very good quote, and that's very true. It is. You have to, as a
But don't
business,
forget to tag me in the quotes.
as a business owner, you have to plan and overcome challenges, and it's the same in a relationship as well.
It is.
And maybe that's why we do quite well
Yeah.
because our business has done well. So therefore, a lot of that kind of thinking that you've just said is what we put into our relationship as well.
That's true. It's not to say we haven't had lots of ups and downs over the years, because of course we have, but every relationship does. And it's about getting through them, isn't
Yeah. And on that bombshell,
it? Yes, Jeremy Clarkson.
good. All right. Well, I think that was a nice little discussion, that
I
wasn't it?
think it was.
This is episode 2 of the
Yeah.
Together We Grow podcast, where we talk about everything to do with working together, living together, and obviously building the business as well. And
Of course, we'll be sharing some nuggets and tips about marketing and building your business along the way.
yeah, absolutely. If you've got any questions at all, send us a message. Go onto our website, homefragrance.academy. Send us an email. Buy one of our courses, please.
Sign up to be a member.
Become a HFA member, and we'll help you grow your business for you, because that's what we do and that's what we love doing, isn't it?
It certainly is. So thank you everybody for joining us on this episode, and we'll see you next time.
No, you'll hear us next
You'll
time.
hear us next time.
See ya. Bye bye.
Bye.